Hey guys, since I was benchmarking my 7800 X3D, I didn't get to do this week's weekly tech update. It's a good thing I didn't though, because I've got some new information which is not speculation about the RTX 4070. Before we talk about it, let me tell you about this month's giveaway. Modern games take up a ton of space, so I thought what an appropriate way to give back to the community than giving away a 980 EVO 1TB NVMe. Make sure your motherboard can support this, but the giveaway details for this will be linked down below in the description. All right, so here's the thing guys, I don't want to get in trouble or anybody else get in trouble, so there's certain things that I can say, certain things I can't say, so I'm going to be somewhat vague, but just understand like if you watch this video today and then you watch it after the 4070 comes out, you're gonna realize that I was right. So first off, when does this GPU officially release? Well, let me just say, if you're planning on buying a graphics card this week, I might hold off on that. As far as the performance, we've seen tons of leaks saying that this thing is going to perform somewhere around the 3080. Basically, I would say that's probably going to be what we're going to see coming out from this GPU, plus or minus a little bit, but it is going to compete in that bracket. So for you guys who are looking for a high-end GPU at not, $1,000 plus pricing, this might be the one that you've been waiting for. Something else that I don't even think is speculation because there's been so much leaked pictures of it, but something again I can kind of confirm is that there are going to be two variations. So out of the box, you're going to have the new PCI Gen 5, 12, 16 pin standard that has now been created for the new RTX 4000 series cards for certain models, depending on if they're coming factory overclocked or not. But there's going to be a ton of them that don't use the PCI Gen 5 power supply, meaning that you can use your pre-existing power supply, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's been one of the biggest points of contention with the new NVIDIA GPUs is that you had to buy a brand new power supply if you wanted to get cleaner power delivery, but also if you just didn't want to have a rat's nest of adapters to have to go to your new 4080 or 4090 specifically. Any backward support for this GPU I think is fantastic. It really gives people a choice on which route they want to go, so you're not being pigeonholed into buying a new piece of hardware that maybe you don't need or don't even want. So pricing isn't going to be, I guess, as bad as it's been in the past. $600 to $700 is still a lot of money, especially if we're talking RTX 3080 performance. Basically what you're buying into is the new generation of software for frame generation and things like that, which is, quite honestly, it's a fantastic technology. It's only getting better. And anything where you're getting a more budget option, I think, is always good, especially in a market where things have been so expensive. Now, this does bring me to availability, and on that front, I've got kind of good news and bad news. The good news is there are going to be a ton of these cards. So from every single add-in board partner to the Founders Edition, there should be quite a bit of these on the market day one release, meaning we shouldn't see the constraints that we've had with previous generations of NVIDIA GPUs. I expect there will be scalping, as there always is scalping, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as much of a problem as it's been in the past, simply because where this GPU sits, there are already pre-existing cards that kind of compete with it. And so the demand for these, I don't think is going to be necessarily quite as high, coupled with the fact that the used market right now is a really great place to pick up a GPU. So I'm foreseeing there to be plenty of availability, not as much scalping, which is fantastic for consumers. However, in typical NVIDIA fashion, one thing that I've heard is going on beyond the scenes is that they are going to be restricting the amount of GPUs going to the market to keep their prices artificially high. I've actually looked around for any other rumors on this coming out because it's kind of just something I've heard around the water cooler, but I 100% believe that that is actually the case. NVIDIA GPUs, specifically the 4080, they just can't get rid of them. They're priced very awkwardly. They're not a good value against their competitor for what they are. And so it's one of those things where NVIDIA releasing this GPU now, at the price they're releasing it now, as I said, like a month ago, I suspected that they were going to drop the price from original $700 for this GPU, which I think was the original MSRP, at least $100, and that seems to be the case. But they're artificially basically holding back new GPUs, the rest of their lineup, I should say, to keep the prices of their overall stack as high as humanly possible, which, yeah, there's a lot of things I could say about that. So anyway, guys, those are kind of the big tech things and things that I can kind of confirm about the 4070 coming up. Keep an eye out because I'm going to buy one of those and I'm going to do some comparison videos. I actually have a 4070 Ti in my travel system, so I'm going to plop those in my main, do some benchmarking, things like that for you guys. But anyway, if you like this video, leave me a big thumbs up. If that was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Enter the giveaway for that 1TB NVMe. And as always, I'll see every single one of you next time.